Today, we're going to dive into a topic that challenges many men, the art of winning a woman's attention. Picture this. You're trying to start a fire. You've got the wood, the matches, and even a spark, but instead of nurturing the flame, you accidentally smother it. This is what often happens when men try to impress women. They have good intentions, but the wrong approach puts out the fire before it has a chance to grow. You might think it's all about looks, expensive gifts, or saying the perfect words, but the truth is, the key often lies elsewhere. It's not the grand gestures, but the small, unconscious mistakes that make the real difference when it comes to attraction. In the next few minutes, you'll learn about the common pitfalls men fall into when trying to impress women and how to avoid them once and for all. Stick around until the end, because each point will bring you closer to unlocking the secret of attracting women in the right way. Let's get started. Leave me a subscription, activate the bell at the bottom right, and write me an algorithm comment. Thank you very much. Number 1. Being too nice. Imagine you're a musician standing on stage. Instead of playing your own song, you're constantly trying to guess the tune the audience wants to hear. You play well, but no one will be impressed because you're not adding your unique twist. This is exactly what being too nice feels like. You adjust, always say yes, and try not to disappoint anyone, but in the process, you lose your individuality. Many men think that women want someone who worships them and agrees with everything, but the reality is, women are looking for a man who has his own rhythm, who's authentic, and isn't afraid to speak his mind. So, what's the solution? Stop chasing after every wish and show her who you truly are. Having your own opinions and strong values doesn't just make you more attractive, it makes you more interesting. Be kind, but not submissive. Authenticity is like a powerful chord in a song. It sticks in people's minds and makes you stand out. This doesn't mean you shouldn't keep growing. On the contrary, it's about creating positive experiences that boost your confidence. And you do this by intentionally stepping out of your comfort zone. The frustrations you face every day aren't roadblocks, they're signals showing you where you need to grow. Number 2. Flaunting your status and wealth. It might seem tempting to impress with success and material things, but women aren't looking for what you have. They're looking for who you are. If you constantly define yourself by your new car, your luxury vacations, or your career, it often gives you an air of insecurity and superficiality. Think of yourself like a book. No one is going to love a book just because the cover looks good. It's the story that matters. A good story isn't just about successes. It's about the moments you've fallen, the mistakes you've made, the lessons you've learned, and the strength it took to rise again. It's great to work on yourself and your mission. That's part of living a fulfilling life. But the real value is in the man you become along the way. When you show passion, authenticity, and depth, you naturally exude charisma. A man who has faced challenges and grown from them leaves an impression that no material possession ever could. And remember, when you flaunt your wealth, you're not attracting the right kind of woman. You'll just pull in those looking for money. Those relationships aren't built on real connection, they're built on superficiality. What you want is a woman who values you for your principles, your character, and the depth of who you are, not for what you own. As American author and motivational speaker Carl Jung once said, "You attract who you are, not what you want." So make sure you're attracting the right person. Number 3. Wanting too much, too quickly. You've had an amazing first date, you've laughed, had great conversations, and suddenly you're daydreaming about the future, thinking about moving in together, planning the next vacation, and imagining your lives intertwined. But wait, relationships are like a campfire. If you pile on too much wood too fast, you'll smother the flame. Here's the key question. Why do you actually want a relationship? Is it because you feel incomplete without a partner? Or is it because you're already living a fulfilling life and want a woman as a complement? a bonus in your life. If you see a woman as a gap filler who will help alleviate your loneliness or sense of incompleteness, you'll quickly find that the relationship is weighed down by pressure and expectation, and that's the fastest way to extinguish the flame. A woman doesn't want the responsibility of filling your inner void. She wants a partner who has his own life together and views her as an addition, not a necessity. Relationships aren't there to solve your insecurities or frustrations. They're meant to be a partnership, two people who complement each other but aren't dependent on one another. Once you understand this, you'll approach things slower and more naturally. Relationships should unfold at their own pace, developing deeply as you both get to know each other better. Remember, patience is key. You don't need to have the whole future figured out right away to form a strong connection. Relationships grow organically like a tree that slowly grows toward the sky, with roots sinking deeper into the earth. If you focus too much on the future, you'll miss the chance to live fully in the present. The real art is controlling the pace without rushing. Show genuine interest, listen, and give space for the other person to grow. A healthy relationship isn't rushed. It's built on trust that everything will come in its own time. Master this, and you'll find yourself creating a deeper and more sustainable connection based on real understanding, not a hasty projection of desires. And let's be honest, if, over time, she no longer fits your ideal once the reality sets in, what do you really have? Exactly nothing. So give it at least a few months. Ideally, test it through all 4 seasons to see how she handles conflicts, disagreements, and public situations. You don't want to discover what she's really like only after you're in a relationship that could end up ruining your life. Number 4. Lack of self-confidence. Women have a sharp intuition. They can sense insecurity from a mile away. If you're always putting yourself down, apologizing for your desires, or neglecting your own needs, your actions send a clear message. You're not sure of yourself. And this is something women can pick up on at a deep level. Confidence doesn't mean being loud or arrogant. It's about being comfortable in your own skin, knowing who you are and what you want. Confidence is like a calm lake, still and clear, even when the wind blows across it. Women sense this depth and clarity because you're grounded within yourself. You're aware of what you've accomplished, your worth, and what you're looking for in a relationship. But how do you build this confidence? It doesn't happen overnight. You have to walk your own path, make mistakes, and rise again, and with each step, you'll grow. Every mistake you make is a piece of the puzzle that brings you closer to becoming the person you want to be. Think about all the positive experiences you've already had in life. Store them in your mind. Those are the proof that you're strong and capable. It's about collecting positive experiences over time. Start with small steps. Face your challenges without fear of setbacks. Every time you push past your fears and achieve something, even if it seems small, another piece of your self-confidence falls into place. You'll notice how your inner strength grows, and with it, your presence will change. You'll become more authentic, relaxed, and attractive. The true secret to confidence is that you don't have to force it. It grows through experiences, learning from mistakes, and continuously reinforcing your own growth. You are the architect of your life, and the more you understand and appreciate yourself, the more you become the kind of man who naturally radiates confidence. Women will feel it and be drawn to that energy. Number 5, not being able to listen. There's almost nothing more frustrating than the fear of being ignored. Unfortunately, a lot of men fall into this trap. They're physically there, but mentally somewhere else. They don't really listen. They're just waiting for their turn to speak. Does that sound familiar? The truth is, What really matters is showing genuine interest. Imagine talking to someone and it feels like you're talking to a wall. You're trying to express yourself, but everything just bounces off. That's what women often experience when men are only focused on waiting for their turn to talk instead of actually listening. Real connection only happens when you can actively listen. To improve this, you need to do more than just passive listening. Ask questions, build on what she says, and let the conversation flow naturally. But what does it mean to build on what she says? Think of it like a chain of associations. You pick up on her words and expand on them with relevant questions or thoughts that take the conversation deeper. For example, if she says, "I went hiking last weekend," ask her what she liked most about it. Was it the view, the peace, or the challenge? This shows you're genuinely interested and want to understand her better. Here's the key. When you master this technique, she'll start putting more into the conversation. She'll ask you questions because she realizes you care and are giving her space to be heard. And this is where the magic happens. She'll pick up on the energy you set, and that's when a true, deeper connection is born. Remember, it's not just about what you say, it's about how well you listen. Women don't just want to be heard, they want to feel understood. They love emotion, and when you listen like this, you'll feel that spark between you. Number 6, focusing too much on looks. Sure, physical attraction matters, but if you reduce a woman to just her beauty, you're missing the real treasure. Think about it. An eye-catching cover is only a first impression. The real magic is in what's inside. And the same goes for women. They want to be seen as a whole person. Here's another way to look at it. A beautiful woman isn't just a pretty accessory. She's like a rare, valuable jewel that can also be dangerous. If you only see her as something to be admired, you'll miss the fact that she can have a big impact on your life, both positive and negative. Think about it. You wouldn't just bring a homeless person off the street into your home, right? Not because you don't have compassion, but because you know that by inviting someone into your life, you're taking on responsibility. The same goes for a woman. You should have the courage and wisdom to look beyond the surface and see who she truly is before diving into something deeper. Imagine you're a woman walking through a dark subway with a suitcase full of $1 million. She constantly feels like everyone who talks to her is just after the money. It's like she's never seen as a person, just a possession to be wanted. Every look, every conversation could feel like someone trying to steal that suitcase, and that's incredibly isolating and dehumanizing. Women can tell immediately if you're truly interested in them as a person, or if you're just seeing them as a beautiful frame. When you show her that you value her thoughts, dreams, and experiences, you'll uncover something far more valuable than just physical attraction. You'll build a real connection. That's the key to deep, authentic attraction. Number 7, losing yourself. Do you ever feel like you might lose a woman if you're not constantly adjusting to her or trying to please her? Like you're not good enough if you don't act the way she expects you to? But here's the truth. The opposite happens when you stay true to yourself. Why is that? Because real attraction doesn't come from constantly adapting. It comes from self-awareness and being willing to be yourself. If you try to bend or pretend to be someone you're not, you'll never connect with a woman in an authentic way. In fact, you'll create a barrier that keeps you both distant. The solution is simple. Instead of wondering what you can do to please her, ask yourself what you can do to be the best man for yourself. Grow, develop, and live your life with passion. Show her that you have a sense of purpose and goals, and that you're not looking for validation. A woman will always be drawn to a man who knows who he is and where he's going, one who also gives her the space to live her own life. That's how you attract respect and the right woman who values you for your character and independence. And let's be real, you don't want a woman who falls for the role you're playing, because it's exhausting to keep that up. You want a woman who loves you for who you are right now and for who you can become in the future. A woman can see in your eyes if you have potential for more in life, if you have a mission and something that drives you. Remember, having a woman shouldn't be your mission in life. That's not enough. Instead, see her as an amazing bonus to your already fulfilled life. The cherry on top. Attraction is so much more than just physical appeal. It's the key to real, deep connections that can change your life. When you work on yourself, build your self-confidence, and show your true personality, you'll not only see a change in yourself, but also in the relationships you create. You can't build a real connection by pretending to be someone you're not. True attraction comes from within. It's about authenticity and the courage to stand up for who you are. When you walk that path, the right woman will naturally be drawn to you, not because of what you show, but because of who you really are. Stay true to yourself, build your inner strength, and you'll watch how your life and relationships rise to a whole new level. And if you want to learn how to attract not just any woman, but the right one for you, be sure to check out my next video, Secrets to Attracting a Specific Person into Your Life. You'll be surprised how simple it can be to bring the right people into your life. You won't regret it.